Good morning. Welcome to Marketing something, where we're going to talk about something that's important and relative to marketing. Let me remember where we were before we got totally messed up. We had been talking about communication and promotion and the idea that basically all promotion is business-related communication, and the goal is to The goal of business communication is to, it's going to sound pretty selfish when it comes out. It's to, hello guys, help me out here. It's to what? To it's okay, I prefer that you're guessing. I just can't hear it.
I mean, it's to sell good.
To sell goods, yes. And there's other things we want to do, but essentially we want them to get them to do what we want them to do, right? So we don't communicate just for the fun of it. We have an intent, and we want to get them to buy something. We want them to think differently. We want them to like our product. We want them to vote for our candidate. We need to do a little better job next time. Excuse me. Yeah, and so we had talked about the basic communication model, how in order to communicate we have to formulate a message which happens in our brain, and then we have to translate that into some kind of a coding system that other people can understand. We talked about language, and we'd also talked about various cues, which are ways that you can encode information, and then we talked about you have to have a medium of communication, and at the other end you have somebody who receives and possibly even understands the message, and if they understand the message then they respond, and based on their response you can make some inferences as to whether or not it worked. And going through all of that is there's a lot of noise going on. And we had talked about the promotional mix, which was, help me understand, and this was supposed to be working today. I promised it was working today. There we go. Ha! The promotional mix, which is advertising, and what else? It's all right here on the screen. You can look smart. Come on, it's in the book too. So the promotional mix, these are the tools that we use to get people to do what we want them to do. We've got advertising, personal selling, public relations, and word of mouth. Advertising is probably the one that we're most familiar with. Most of the people that I know that work in advertising actually share frustration that because we're all familiar with advertising, we all consider ourselves to be experts. And when the experts speak, there's always a challenge. Why did you make that blue? Shouldn't have been green. Green would have been better. So what is the definition of advertising? And I thought I would put this in this little 2x2 matrix that we talked about last time, where we've got whether it's mass communications or it's personal communications, and then on the other side, other axis, whether it's paid or unpaid. And advertising would fall squarely in the upper left or right quadrant, depending on whether you're facing me or facing away from me. And I have it circled here. This is paid, sponsor identified mass communication. And in order for it to be advertising, it has to have these 4 characteristics. There has to be a message, duh. There has to be an identified sponsor. There needs to be a medium, duh. And there has to be some kind of payment. This sounds like a criminal transaction, doesn't it? There's got to be a medium and there's got to be a payment before anything happens here, okay?